Triangle sum and exterior theorems. We're going to look at some of the triangles that we already know, and we're going to go over their definitions. An acute triangle means that all of the interior angles are less than 90 degrees. Think of it as all three angles are acute. They're small. Obtuse, one of the interior angles is going to be greater than 90 degrees. Obtuse, like obese, means bigger. So bigger means bigger than 90 degrees. And a right triangle has one 90-degree angle. Here you have a scalene. Scalene triangles are talking about the sides. In a scalene triangle, all three sides are different measures or different lengths. In an isosceles triangle, you have two sides that are the very same length. And on an equilateral, all three sides are going to be equal. You have a remote interior angles, and this is what we're going to focus on today. You have two non-adjacent, meaning they are not beside of the exterior angle, or interior angles of the exterior angle. For example, angle 1 is the remote exterior angle, and these A and B are going to be your two.
Miss Freenor, please come to the front office. Miss Freenor.
Excuse that. A and B are going to be your interior angles that are going to be remote from your exterior angle 1. A very important concept number 1, the triangle sum theory states that every angle or interior angles of a triangle are going to be added up to a sum of 180 degrees. And very important concept number 2, your exterior angle theorem is that the measure of the exterior angle is going to be the sum of the two remote interior angles. So angle 1 will be whatever angle A and B added together will be. They are going to be equal. Let's look at the triangle sum theory when we're looking at triangles. This sign here means that it is a 90-degree angle, and I know that this is the symbol for it, so this is 90 degrees. And if I have a 90-degree angle plus a 20-degree angle plus the x angle, which I'm trying to find, it all should add up to 180 degrees according to the triangle sum theorem. So I know that 90 plus 20 is going to be 110. Plus x is going to be 180, and when I subtract 110 from each side, x is going to equal to 70 degrees. So this triangle is going to be 70 degrees. In order to check my work, I need to add up 90 and 70, which is 160, plus 20, and I know that equals to 180. So I did my math correct. Here I have these little signs there means that these two lengths are congruent or the same. So this is an isosceles triangle. When these two sides are the same, these two bottom angles are going to be the same. So I know that when I add 50 plus 50 plus x, everything will add up to a sum of 180 according to the triangle sum theorem. So 50 plus 50 is 100. Plus x is 180, and when I subtract 100 from either side, I know that x is going to equal to 80. So x is going to be 80 degrees. Let's check it. 50 plus 50 is 100 plus 80 is actually 180 degrees, so we did our math right. This is a scalene triangle. No three sides are the same length. But I still have to find my angle of x. No matter what shape it is, I know that through the triangle sum theorem, all angles will add up to 180. So I'm going to say 120 plus 40 plus x should equal to 180. 120 plus 40 is 160 plus x is going to equal to 180. When I subtract 160 from either side, I know that angle x is going to equal to 20 degrees. So angle x is 20 degrees. Let's add it up and see if we're right. 120 plus 40 is 160, and 160 plus 20 will give us 180. So we did all of these correct. Let's take a look at the triangle sum theorem when we're looking at transversal lines cut by a pair of parallel lines. If I want to find out if I want to find the angle A, angle B, and angle C, I can do that using the transversal lines and all of the definitions that we have learned throughout the unit. I know that 70 and A are going to be the very same measurement because I know that angle A will equal to 70 degrees because I am using the alternate interior angle definition, because I know that these are parallel lines. This is a transversal line that is cut through these two if I were to extend it. And I know that 70 and angle A are interior because they're inside the parallel lines, and they're going to be alternate because they're on either side of the transversal line. Therefore, they're going to be equal. So if I know that this angle is 70, this B I don't know, and this angle 2 is 60, I know that when I add and put these three angles together, they are going to equal into a straight line, which is 180 degrees. So I'm going to add 70 plus 60 plus B, and I know that that has got to equal to 180 degrees because it forms a straight line when all the angles are lined up. 70 plus 60 is going to give us 130, plus B is equal to 180. When I subtract 130 from both sides, I know that angle B is going to be 50 degrees, okay? So angle B is going to be 50 degrees. Now, if I add this up, it should add up to 180. So let's do it quickly so we know that we haven't made any mistakes. 70 plus 50 is going to be 120, and 120 plus 60 does give us 180, so that is correct. I have angle A. I know that angle A is going to be 70. I know that angle B is 50. How are we going to find angle C? We know through the triangle sum theorem that if I add 50 degrees plus 70 degrees plus C, it should give me 180 degrees. So I'm going to say 50 plus 70 is going to give me 120 plus C equals 180. And I'm going to subtract 120 from either side. So I know the angle C has got to equal to 60 degrees. And let's add all these up to make sure that we got it correct. 50 plus 60 is 110, and 110 plus 70 does give me 180 degrees. So I know I can use things that I've already learned in order to make sure that I can get the triangle within the parallel lines. Let's look at the other theorem that we're talking about, exterior angle theorem. 1 and 2 are interior angles of a triangle. 3 is the exterior angle. And remember, angle 3 is called the exterior angle. And when I add angle 1 and angle 2, which are the remote interior angles, meaning across from angle 3, they are going to add up to equal to the measure of angle 3. So the measure of angle 1 plus the measure of angle 2 will add up to equal to the measure of angle 3. So let's work on some of these together. Look at the examples. I want to find out what x equals, or the exterior angle equals. So I know all I have to do is add these two together, okay? And when I do, I can say 45 plus 60 should equal to angle X, which is our exterior angle. The two interior angles added together are going to be 105 equals X. And when I add these two, when I add them together, I get 105. So I know that angle X, or our exterior angle, is going to be 105 degrees. Here I've got one angle and I've got 80. So I know my exterior angle has got to equal to 30 plus whatever this is. So angle X plus the 30-degree angle should equal to this exterior angle's measurement, which is 80 degrees. So I'm going to subtract 30 from each side, and now I know that the angle X is going to equal to 50 degrees. And in order to check it, I'm going to say 30 plus 50 should equal 80, and it does.